Diamond has obviously not been with the team for very long, but just what excites you about being able to get out there, potentially playing alongside her today?
Yeah, super excited. Obviously familiar with her game, just from the league, and we're in the same draft class. But she's super athletic. She's real long on the defensive end. She's great. She gets her hands on a lot of balls. So super excited to play with her. I think she brings a great energy.
What's it been like for you, trying to reacclimate yourself to the game after being out for a bit?
It's been great. Honestly, I think that's what kind of last week was for. We had a couple of days of 3-on-3, just to get used to it. And there was a couple of days I could do some non-contact. So, you're doing the shooting drills and stuff. And then, the last 3 or 4 days just being able to regular practice. It kind of helps. We've had a lot of people in and out, so it kind of feels like everybody's almost at the same point. I was laughing with Grace and Diamond on the bus, it's all our first games tonight, which is kind of funny, just the way it worked out.
I mean, thinking about that, how would you maybe describe what the expectations are from a team perspective, knowing that there are definitely pieces being reintegrated in your case, or just integrated overall?
Yeah, I think, just you got to always compete with the group you have on the floor, and sometimes injuries, things happen and you can't control, but I think with the group we have a really young fiery group with a mix of experience and some great leaders. So I think you put that together and you just got to compete for the next 15 games and see what happens.
It's also pretty jarring that there are a decent amount of people in this organization that have ties to the area. Sounds like the tickets are at max. What does it mean when you are able to come on the road and not just yourself, but have a team that knows they're going to see some familiar faces in the crowd?
Yeah, I think that always helps. Indy gets to live that every day, so I'm sure it helps them. But just super excited anytime you can play. This is the closest arena to my house, so anytime your family and friends can come out, it's just a great feeling knowing you're going to see them after however the game goes.
Do you know how many folks you got coming?
I think quite a bit.
Do you know where they're going to be?
I think somewhere in the 200, somewhere in the 100, so I'm sure you'll hear them. I'm sure you'll hear them.
It'll be noticeable.
What are some focuses the team has coming off of practice and today's shoot-around going into tonight's game?
Just compete both ends of the floor. I think we got a really versatile group with the people we have out there today, so just got to compete on every possession, knowing New York is such a great team and they can score and hurt you in so many different ways that we got to try to be the aggressor. We got them last week, and I'm sure circle on their calendar, so we just got to be ready to go from the start.
There have been, you've been through this. I think it has been tracked. This is a year where there have been the most injuries in the league in recent memory. So I guess I'm just curious what you think. Obviously, there's a collective bargaining agreement trying to be agreed upon right now. What do you think needs to be done to really address the injury epidemic around the league?
Yeah, I think we're just seeing, so many games in so few, days is, what ultimately attributes to it. I can just speak for myself, but mine was more impact. I don't think you really could have stopped it. You got hit and, the bone broke. So, but there are a lot of injuries that are wear and tear things, and maybe you have a couple more days here or there, longer All-Star break, or, that's something I know everyone's pushing for. I think, then we'll probably see a little better product and hopefully, less people out with, not even little injuries, because every injury is a big injury. So I think we'd probably see less of that, but I'm sure there's lots more to people than me who can make that decision.